Welcome to a journey across barren landscapes where train stations rise unexpectedly from endless sand. We explore desert train stations built in the middle of nowhere, examining why they exist, how they operate, and who actually uses them. From ambitious infrastructure dreams to strategic transport hubs, these isolated stops tell surprising stories about human persistence, geography, and planning. Stay with us to uncover their mysteries, fascinating histories, hidden purposes, remote challenges, global cultural significance, and do not forget to subscribe. Number 5. Empty horizons. Desert train stations often appear in places defined by vast, uninterrupted horizons, where sand and sky dominate the view. These stations are intentionally isolated, positioned far from cities, highways, or visible settlements. Their emptiness creates a sense of scale, emphasizing how rail infrastructure cuts through landscapes that seem untouched by human life. The surrounding silence is broken only by wind, shifting dunes, or the distant sound of an approaching train. Such locations are chosen to maintain straight rail alignments, avoid difficult terrain, or reduce construction costs. For passengers, arriving at these stations can feel disorienting, as familiar urban cues are absent. Platforms may extend into nothingness, with no immediate signs of activity or shelter beyond the station itself. Despite their stark setting, these stations remain functional nodes within national rail systems. They demonstrate how transportation networks prioritize continuity and efficiency over proximity to population centers. And the empty horizons surrounding them highlight both the resilience of rail travel and the remoteness of the deserts they traverse. Over time, weathering, minimal maintenance crews, and infrequent human presence reinforce their surreal character, making them memorable landmarks for travelers who briefly pause before trains continue onward across the desert under vast open skies alone. Number 4. Harsh climate. Stations located in desert climates must withstand extreme environmental conditions that challenge daily operations. Temperatures can soar during daylight hours, placing stress on materials, electronics, and mechanical systems. Buildings are designed with heat-resistant materials, shaded overhangs, and ventilation strategies to reduce internal temperatures. Sandstorms present another constant threat, as fine particles infiltrate tracks, signaling equipment, and waiting areas. Regular cleaning and inspection routines are essential to keep systems functional. Water scarcity also shapes station design, limiting landscaping and requiring efficient resource management. Staff working at these stops often rotate in shifts, minimizing prolonged exposure to harsh conditions. Passengers experience these environments briefly, yet the intensity is immediately noticeable. The stations serve as controlled refugees from the climate, offering shelter, cooling, and basic services. Despite their isolation, they must meet safety and operational standards equal to urban stations. Their continued operation demonstrates how rail infrastructure adapts to some of the most unforgiving climates on Earth, while maintaining reliable service across long distances. Power generation, emergency planning, and durable construction methods ensure trains can stop safely, communicate effectively, and resume movement even when weather conditions rapidly deteriorate without warning in remote regions far from immediate external assistance or support infrastructure networks. Number 3. Strategic locations. Many desert train stations exist because of strategic planning rather than passenger demand. Rail lines crossing deserts often serve national supply chains, connecting ports, mines, industrial zones, or border regions. Stations are positioned at intervals that support freight operations, crew changes, inspections, or technical monitoring. Military and governmental considerations may also influence their placement, ensuring rapid movement of resources across remote territory. These stations can function as control points, housing communications equipment, and monitoring systems essential for network management. Their locations are carefully calculated based on distance, fuel efficiency, and operational safety. While they may appear unnecessary to travelers, removing them would disrupt carefully balanced logistics. Trains carrying goods rely on predictable stopping points to maintain schedules and mechanical reliability. Even when passenger services are minimal or non-existent, freight activity justifies continued maintenance. Strategic stations quietly enable economic activity far beyond their immediate surroundings, reinforcing the importance of rail infrastructure in supporting large-scale national and regional transportation goals. By anchoring long routes through inhospitable terrain, one, they reduce operational risk, support coordination across agencies, and ensure that rail corridors remain viable, monitored, and responsive to changing demands over time for national economies, security planning, and regional integration efforts overall effectively. Number 2, rare presence. Human presence at desert train stations is often limited, creating an atmosphere of near abandonment. Trains may pass regularly, yet few people disembark or board, leaving platforms empty for most of the day. Staffing levels are typically minimal, with essential personnel assigned only when operationally necessary. Automated systems handle ticketing, signaling, and communications, reducing the need for constant human oversight. This scarcity of people amplifies the sense of isolation experienced by travelers. Sounds echo more clearly and movement becomes highly noticeable against the stillness. Despite appearances, these stations remain active components of the rail network. Maintenance crews visit on scheduled intervals, and remote monitoring ensures safety compliance. The contrast between operational importance and visible emptiness can be striking. For those who pass through, the brief stop becomes memorable precisely because of the lack of crowds. Rare human presence shapes the identity of these stations, distinguishing them sharply from busy urban terminals. This condition encourages self-reliance among travelers, highlights automation within modern rail systems, and reinforces the perception that the station exists primarily for trains themselves, rather than for sustained social interaction or commercial activity within remote desert environments shaped by distance, climate, infrastructure, and operational necessity alone consistently daily. Number 1, ambition. Desert train stations symbolize ambitious engineering efforts aimed at overcoming geographical extremes. Constructing and maintaining rail facilities in remote deserts requires careful planning, significant investment, and long-term commitment. These stations represent confidence in technology and infrastructure, asserting human capability to operate in environments traditionally seen as inhospitable. Their presence reflects broader national goals such as economic integration, territorial connectivity, and modernization. Even when usage appears low, the stations embody forward-looking strategies that anticipate future demand or strategic necessity. Engineers must account for climate, terrain, and logistical challenges while ensuring safety and reliability. The result is infrastructure that quietly endures, often unnoticed by the wider public. For observers, these stations can feel symbolic, standing alone as markers of progress against natural vastness. They demonstrate how transportation networks are not solely reactive to population patterns, but also proactive in shaping development. As symbols of ambition, desert stations underscore the determination to link distant regions through resilient rail systems. Over decades, they become enduring proof that infrastructure projects can outlast immediate economic calculations, expressing long-range vision, political will, and belief in connectivity as a driver of stability and growth across sparsely populated territories despite uncertainty, risk, and environmental severity persistently. Thanks for traveling with us through these lonely platforms and extreme environments. We hope the stories expanded your perspective on railways, deserts, and human ambition. If you enjoyed exploring these remote stations with us around the world today and tomorrow together now, support the channel, share your thoughts, and subscribe.